Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another Shonen Ronin. There's a new list of weekly Shonen Jump of mangas today. Actually, also the once a month too. I actually need to touch those later, but for sure we have new My Hero Academia. We have JJK. No Black Clover today, and there's not gonna be a JJK for next week. Let the mangakas take their break. We respect that. But yeah, still plenty of mangas to talk about. Red Hood, and yeah, it's enough. We don't have the full team with us, but we have the important people, the main people that need really important for these Shonen Ronins, really. So guys, let's see our faces. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Shonen Ronin. This is episode 20. We are gonna be here to talk about JJK, My Hero, Red Hood, and Kaiju number 8 that came out last Thursday. And man, all of them was great. All of them were bangers.
Yeah, not gonna lie though, all these were legit good. Like legitimately, I had a good time reading every single one of these chapters. Especially JJK, which we gonna talk about. It's happening, baby. It's getting started. We finally here.
I love the pacing from it too. Like, oh, okay, cool. Usually it takes a whole 3 chapters for this whole of development and discovery thing, but no, we're gonna run through this in one page in one chapter, and boom, let's do this.
This is good though. Like this is what we've all been waiting on. To be completely like, this is the moment we've been waiting for. It's the start of. I feel like this is his official start of his next arc. This is the official start of the color game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all in because it listen, it started and it started real quick, and I'm like, yep, thank you. This is what I'm about, baby.
It answers something for me. It answers like, okay, so within the circle, it's the culling game, baby. And what did the guy did to all of Yuji's classmates and friends and everybody in his hometown? Hey, come and join my game! Like, you son of a bitch.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, are we gonna start with JJK?
Yeah,
I wanna. Yeah.
Let's start with JJK. So I mean, like right off the jump, it's just like they confirm that there's sorcerers that's thousands of years old that's competing in this game.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he been planning this game for a long ass time. Like he knew he was gonna do this, and that's why he got all these people to make contracts with him. So I'm like, ooh, what's his end game with this stuff?
I mean,
is it just to cull sorcerers from the sorcerer pool, or is it to gain power for somebody else?
It could be a lot of things. It could be like, yo, since these guys love to fight and I love power, what if you guys fight and whoever dies, I get to take their power, kind of whatnot.
I mean,
kind
it
of
could
situation.
just be for his enjoyment. You're right. It could literally just be because he wants to watch.
Because people are bored. It's been people have been living hundreds of years, thousands of years, and these are the same cursed spirits who've always fought life and death in these sort of situations, and that is nuts. And you put them all in a ring. Whoever, they don't care who they kill, they just want to fight. They just want to see who's the strongest.
You know, I'm kind of thinking, to me, it feels kind of like a reset for the Jujutsu Society. Like it's kind of like
easily.
Let's get these folks to a game. You know, they're gonna kill each other, and then whoever's standing will get to determine how things go from there.
Mm-hmm. The winner will influence the future of JJK Society for sure.
And I'm about that.
That makes sense, because cursed spirits can reincarnate in a way.
Yeah, they'll be back. Exactly. They are perpetual. As long as people are around, cursed spirits will be around.
Yeah.
And like
clearly,
the
with everything that's happened,
taking possessions of other people's bodies, I'm guessing, and then to use them to fight and participate in a way.
Yeah. I mean, maybe.
Yo, this
but
is
even
I'm waiting for the cursed spirits that we saw before to come back. I mean, I still think they come back in some way, straight up.
That's kind of
even if they come back as a person.
That's
like, for
you
real.
think so?
It's
potentially.
It's very messed up, because in a way, if you do this like say every other hundreds or thousands of years, you would still need participants, like regular people, to possess their bodies and stuff, right?
Do we know when the last culling game was? Is that something that they've discussed and I missed?
Wasn't it during that war or something like that? The something about the New Guyana is happening again or something like that.
Potentially.
It was like the last chapter of the Shibuya arc. From what
I'll have to go back
get to say, it's like he literally like,
because I'm like,
he was
did
talking
he start
straight
the other
up.
one too?
I'm guessing, yeah, because he's old, and he was like talking to Sukuna from like Yuji's body, like, yo, Sukuna, I'm bringing this thing back again. It's a new hyena Hinin again. It's like wait, so
Mm,
wait, what is this death tournament conversation going on in the situation, that sort of thing,
mm.
and how come Sukuna has not been winning every single time?
Well, see, and that's my thing. It's like, okay, so Sukuna is involved.
Yes.
Does he count? Does he count as an individual player? Question mark.
I'm guessing he is, but in Yuji's body.
See, that's the weird thing. It's like, does he circumvent the rules if he takes over Yuji's body, or is he just considered Yuji at that point?
I'm just thinking like Yuji's just the host body, and Sukuna's just using him like the
I
other.
mean, so I'm
sorcerer
thinking by the
spirits.
rules of the game. Yuji Itadori he's the one who joined the game,
Mm-hmm.
and so if Sukuna takes over Yuji's body and it's like, all right, I'm gonna do some shit in the game, is it gonna be considered Yuji taking those actions? I would assume so.
Yes,
But I don't know.
I think so because, well, Yuji felt guilty of it. He knows he was not in control of Sukuna when the whole destruction of the Shibuya arc was happening. But
Well, yeah,
and
but he
Su-
made a deal with Sukuna though. Remember?
and like
They got a reoccurring deal that he ain't took up in a while.
Yeah.
He used it during the Shibuya arc, but we ain't seen it since.
and Sukuna is like lets him like see it, experience it of all the destruction literally in front of Yuji, just for his own like entertainment and comedy, just for his own sick reaction.
I mean, I think it's hilarious that Sukuna is still this mystery to us. Like he's still a mystery.
like
At least to me. Like I'm like, yeah, he's
I
this
agree.
powerful ass old curse spirit, but like,
how come he
what does he want?
how come he's not taking possession of Yuji every single day if he has that time limit and just wreaking havoc, destruction?
Because he doesn't need to, is my guess. He only does it when he wants to,
Yeah.
essentially. Which I'm like, okay, well, why though? Is it literally just because he wants to have fun? Because I can tell he did it in Shibuya just because he wanted to fight, literally.
I think he also wants
was like-
that fun too. When you
That's
live
what I mean. Yeah, fighting is fun for him. Like, and something that Megumi said in this chapter, he goes, this used to be a way of life for them.
Yes.
Like, fighting to the death was just what they did. So I'm like, maybe that's all this is. It's just them like living the way they've always lived.
Well, we also have to go back to the conversation with Tengen before calling game to really understand Kenjaku's, to remember Kenjaku's reasoning for the calling games. Like I know before, from what I was able to read and whatnot, it seems like the calling game is one of those things where, what's an anime that has something similar? One of those things where you basically throw the gauntlet to be like, hey, I want to challenge the status quo, whether it's for good intentions or bad intentions. Because I think, if I remember correctly, it was mentioned that the Kamo clan used the calling games to try to wrestle power away from the Gojo clan.
Mm.
So I don't know how long ago that was, but again, it seems like you need to have significant power to do it. But once you get it started, it's out of your hands, because we know that Kenjaku's not even the game master. The system exists outside of itself. But one of the things that I noticed that pleased me in this chapter was when Yuji and Megumi enter the barrier, and us being reminded that there are unofficial rules that don't necessarily need to be publicly announced.
Yeah, like the one that we just found out about today.
Yeah.
9
it's
separate
just
locations and just be scattered apart.
And that participants, they're predetermined already based on criteria of who, I don't know if whoever made the rule or whoever's aware of the rule.
Right.
Like they know,
or is that just a basis of the game itself? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like does the game itself decide?
So then it shows that there are kind of loopholes, because we thought like, yo, you got to get a certain number of points, you make a new rule, it's announced and shared. But now you're finding like, nah, there's unofficial rules as well. And again, that knowledge is privy to people who know it. If you don't know it, you shit out of luck. You gonna learn the hard way.
Yeah,
For example,
right.
like here.
I wonder how they're going to get this. I wonder how they're going to get this information to the rest of their team, because now they have this
everybody's split
very
up.
important information. Yeah, now they're both split up.
I think
I think they need to tell everybody they know. Like, we can't plan a team strategy now. We have to meet up in these areas if we're going to do it. But I'm like, how do you get from area to area?
Because each barrier seems to have like 9 to 10 predetermined locations.
Right.
So like, and there's how many like there's 10 total. So that's about 90 possible locations at any given time. Of course, when you enter one, doesn't mean you enter center 3. but about 9 per, and we already know that they split into 2 teams, expected to work things out.
Mm-hmm.
They could be in 18 different places amongst two of the.
So that I feel like the whole team strategy they came up with completely busted already. Instantly nixed.
Did you think that like that judge communicator spirit thing was gonna ask him, do you want to review the rules? He actually knew all the other players who had 100 points to get these rules and
so
stuff?
that's the little thing that's assigned to everybody who joins the game.
Exactly.
The Kogane. So basically, it knows all the rules.
Yeah.
When you want
And
to
like
make a new rule,
only rules that Fushiguro know is just the 7 or 8 rules from outside the
official rules.
circle.
Yeah.
Well, so exactly what Abe just said. He knows the official rules. Now they are learning the rest of the rules.
Because it was 7, but then the 8th one was added
Mhm.
by the one who's looking for Sukuna, and that was to become an official rule.
Yep.
But now we
And
know
that's what they spent their
loophole.
points on, because
Mhm.
you get 100 points, you would get to make a rule. What was it? 200 points.
100.
100 points. That seems kind of low if you ask me.
Well, I mean, they said
considering
like
that
if you kill
5
regular
points
people,
per, that's 20 kills.
Yeah.
5 points for curse sorcerers and
Yeah.
1 point for just civilians.
So either you kill
I mean-
20 or a combination of 100 people. That's a big body just
It's
to make one rule.
I mean, we say big body count, but we didn't see people drop bodies by the hundreds and
Thousands.
so I'm like,
But then that just
cool.
shows just the strength, I believe, of
that's what I'm
everybody
hoping.
involved.
That's what I'm hoping is that means that the level of participant is really high.
Yeah.
And that these fights are going to be like worth our time.
Mhm.
So, I mean, we already saw.
And it's only
just the
been
intro.
a few days, right? It's not like just like one big
Yeah.
bad within these circles who just wiped out everybody just to collect all these points and making all these rules if like he
Right.
wants to, that sort of thing. So there's some kind of balance and fairness to it all, at least.
I mean,
Plus-
you say fairness. but I
Not
think it's
only
more
not
balance
like
than anything.
balance
Yeah.
is the most.
It's just trying to figure out who's going to take advantage of the game in the way that it's like. Because I mean, the rules are made to be broken.
Yes.
It's real. That's
But-
all.
well, I mean,
how are they going to get around?
There's
the rules that are
consequences to
made?
breaking these like rules and
I mean,
laws here
that's the
too.
thing, though. You use the rules to break the other rules.
Yeah.
I mean, and rules are made when people do things that the rules didn't already account for. Right?
Mhm.
So I'm really curious to see how that. I have a feeling that he's gonna play with these rules and make them super like specific, and that's what's gonna help make or break.
I mean,
for folks
from this chapter, we already know Fushiguro. He doesn't care. Like if I have to, he has no qualms
Hey,
collecting
that
the
was
100
cold.
points.
I
It's
mean,
like
you know-
I ain't Yuji. I'm killing people to collect the 100 points because I need to make rules. Like
he knows the severity of this. He's like, listen, I can't have a conscience here. I'm not a hero.
we ain't
Which
heroes,
is
man.
how we were introduced to him from jump. Again,
Mhm.
it's just that consistency. This is who Megumi is. Like, yes, there's been some development and changes thanks to his interaction with Yuji.
Right.
But at
Which is
the
good.
same time, he understands that, like, yo, we're in a situation where it's kill or be killed. Like, Yuji has the luxury of being more optimistic because you also have Sukuna inside you.
Yes.
And
I
that's,
mean, and he also existed outside of Jujutsu Society.
yeah.
And
So
was
you
a
don't really
person before.
understand.
Right.
So you don't really understand that optimism, that naivety can really get you killed. And it actually has gotten you
Well, I mean,
killed.
Multiple times.
It also can get a whole bunch of other people killed.
Yeah,
if
which
we're
you
not
witnessed.
exactly.
But Shibuya. And I love the constant references we keep getting to Shibuya in these chapters. It's just like in
Because
this
it was
one, it's
that
like,
much.
yo,
It impacted the entire world. Straight up.
exactly. It's like, yo, this place is even bigger than Shibuya. It's like, man, how complicated that makes things?
Right?
Yeah. Okay, so I want to go back to last chapter real quick. Like these people had a chance to step out from the game, right? And then when you step back in, you can't come back out anymore. But we don't know officially for
once you
sure.
win, you win.
Humans have the ability.
Yes.
I mean, well, first of all, Kenjaku shows
that's what
mercy.
happened. Yeah, that's what happened last chapter. He basically appeared to everybody saying, "Hey, you want to be in this, or do you want to, bounce up out of this real quick? Because you're not about that life." And they got to choose.
Because remember, Kenjaku's thing is more, again, going back to the conversation with Tengen, right around the time of the break. I think it was after the break, or right before the break that Gege took. Tengen said that Kenjaku's goal is to merge curses and humankind
Mhm.
for evolution. So
Right,
first of all,
right.
you're not going to want to just have any human in the group.
You want
If
your
they are not built for this, you want them out because they'll get eliminated later. You know,
and like
and
this guy, the guy who would experiment, like whichever
exactly.
body and that sort of stuff, even with his own son's friends.
Plus, you got to remember that if you're an awakened curse user, you actually have no choice. You have to.
That's
participate.
very true.
Yeah,
Mhm.
or else you get your curse technique stripped.
Right.
So
Also means death.
so it's just it's funny because while last week we spoken and I was like, I don't like it. Seems like something of mercy. It seems it's too good. Then I remembered, like, well, no, he's just weeding out the weak ones. Like, nah, you're not
Exactly.
built
That's
for this.
exactly it.
Like,
It's like they want this game to be for the strongest, straight up, and then people who want to be the strongest or think they're the strongest.
because it seems that
As long as you're
even
willing to
normal
fight
humans,
to be strong, you can participate. If you're just gonna be weak and nothing, you're gonna be dead father. That doesn't
So-
mean you participate.
because like they
But-
said, everybody can they can kind of not see but be sort of in tune with curse spirits or curse techniques. They can learn to use them,
Right.
and it's just a matter of being awakened. Now we saw with Maki, she couldn't really see curse techniques without having special equipment,
Right.
Right.
but she
Without the
still
glasses.
could understand and incorporate curse items.
Because her sister got that half of the abilities from her.
Exactly.
Like, well,
So-
from her mother, I should say.
Exactly. So a human being can learn curse techniques and whatnot, and this is a great way to force that. And that's a great way to be like, hey, I mean, it's similar to, again, this is one of those things where it's similar even to My Hero when it comes to the normal. It's like, all right, which ones are gonna do well to survive? Which humans can we experiment on and all that stuff. Same
So
thing
I
with the
guess
rolling games.
my question is: Can anybody have a curse technique awakening, or there's just some people who just decide to stay because they want to, and they're just a regular ass person?
It's people who decide to stay. I mean, in that case, I feel like those who decide to stay don't really comprehend or understand exactly what choice is being presented to them. And
Right.
I don't think that everybody could awaken to it.
And that's what I'm thinking. I don't think everybody who decided to stay and participate actually
Yeah, they won't.
has a curse technique, and so they could just be in there trying to. I mean, you can still sniper, sorcerer, clear some points. A bullet's a bullet. You know what I'm saying? I ain't seen nobody in this who's bulletproof just yet outside of actual curse spirits.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, let's
what-
see how that works.
Who are those types of people?
Right.
Those
That's
are,
what I'm
those
like.
are, those are
I'm like, you-
psychopaths.
No, you's out there for real.
Thrill
So
seekers, yo.
Mhm.
People who love danger.
I hope we get to see some of those folks. Like
Yeah.
at least one. Like I want to. I'm like, are these just like? And I'm like, are these people that you use with right now? Are these regular ass people? Or are they sorcerers? Because they do have tools that they're
Mhm.
using. So I'm like, I don't know.
You never know, because a simple sniper rifle can still be a cursed item. Like you can definitely. So you
And can
can't judge
regular
a
ass
book by
people
cover.
use cursed items? Like I don't remember. Like
That's where I think
That's-
it's possible, but you kind of have to open yourself up to learning.
because didn't they
and to
empty that
understanding.
vault?
Yeah, the vault's empty.
Yeah, the
Where all
vault's
that
empty.
stuff go?
The family
Is it
took
just
the family took
is
it.
it
stole
just
all
like
of it.
did they drop it out? Did they drop it in these areas so like a real battle royale so people can just go
Did
find
it-
weapons?
Fortnite, there's gonna be a comic curse technique just waiting randomly.
Bro, if they just hid
Welcome to
cursed
Apex.
weapons-
Welcome
if
to
they literally
Apex.
Just
Yo.
cursed weapons throughout these areas in the Cullen game. Oh my god!
Care package weapons on its way.
Yo, that'd be wild. That would be wild.
But didn't that family stole all of it? Like they just kept it to themselves and somewhere else. It's just we
I
don't
don't
know
know.
where it was.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I remember that the Zenning clan they had a bunch too.
Yeah.
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 yeah, but the Zenin clan emptied theirs, I believe.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Maki came in trying to get the weapons
Yeah,
and shit.
and it was like she was too late.
I mean, but now she's probably gonna go look for it. But she really-
Well, I mean, she's
really-
looking all for the rest of the Zenin clan,
Listen,
really.
I just need to know where she at now. Come on.
Yeah, word. I'm wondering,
Come
like, yo.
on.
Well, first of all, here's a couple things that I'm curious about. Is how soon before we get an update on Toto, Nobara, Maki?
That's it. That's what I want to know. I mean, I guess I can wait for a while. They don't have to be introduced
Yeah.
right now.
Mhm.
I'm not saying like, yo, I need it within like
I feel
before the end of the year, but I'm wondering, do we eventually find out, and who comes first, and what will their connection be? Because well, first of all, that depends on Toto's status. Like, is he able to even participate still? Have they been able to work something out so he can still participate. We don't even know if Nobara is truly alive. We know she's been on the verge of death. Is she healed? Because if she is she about to jump in this?
Let's think about it. So I mean, just kind of like speculate for a second. Nobara is special because of the way her curse technique works and how it involves her pain. She could literally just become her curse technique and be fine.
And
forced
like,
evolution.
It's just the theory I have about
and
her.
from what we know, it's like her body is in a preserved state because of a different person's curse technique. Couldn't they all right? They have all the tools, they have all the equipments, and we have ready to treat her after like the Mahito transformation,
I don't know.
and everything.
So I'm just
blood transfusion and some surgery getting ready.
In this world that they just. If you get damaged like that, you just got to be what you like until you're not. Like Maru had to find a way to be who he was outside of what he was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like they adapt, or they find a way to adapt. I like that about this.
That's the reason.
There's no get out of jail free card from your debilitating injury.
Right.
You get injured, you learn from it, you get stronger from it, and then you move on to the next guy.
Or you just dead. Simple as that. But I have another question for y'all about the rules. Couldn't they just make a rule that frees Gojo from the prison?
That's if Gojo's in the culling game itself, right?
Does he have to be in the game for that to work?
It seems like the rules and laws more apply within the culling games in itself, not really outside of the world.
Based off the rules, everybody with a curse technique has to participate, or they get stripped. But Gojo is technically not on this plane. He is sealed.
He's not, yeah.
Technically, but the thing that he exists within is present. Still.
It is present, but then it's more of a gateway, because if that's the case, then we got to go back to Tengen. Mei has to participate too then.
Exactly, she does. Yep.
But if she's just going to play bodyguard to Tengen this whole time,
she probably will.
They all have a time limit.
That's the plan. Her and Shoso are supposed to play. Bodyguard. But then
technically they don't count. They don't. They are in a different realm.
Yeah, realm.
But that's
planes,
what I'm saying.
everything.
The prison realm. I view the seal as a different realm as well.
Same.
So I see the prison realm as like a tangible space within our space because it physically exists. The realm that they're in with Tengen permeates.
Wasn't that box not able to be destroyed unless it's that weapon that breaks the curse seal?
That's my guess.
The back door.
But then they're looking for that person that can break it.
Yeah.
Also is like another thing. So I'm like, there's different ways, but I'm like, could they just make a rule that frees Gojo from it? But they'd have to get the points to make the rule.
And doesn't what's his name? Doesn't he also possess the cube too? Geto guy. Yeah. He
Kenjaku.
Kenjaku possessed. He held on to it. He's not losing this.
He got it. But I'm like, is that something that he's not planning for? Is that they just make a rule to free Gojo from it?
So then, are you telling me that this is basically Kenjaku's plan to get Gojo out the pain? It's like, I'm going to seal you up and then start the calling games, knowing
these people have to make a really hard choice. They kill all these people to get you free if they want to make a rule, or they find a different way.
Wasn't that different? Wasn't that different way with that angel curse?
That's what I'm saying. There's somebody who could
because that was the open the back door basically.
Yeah.
You can there's a back door exit, but there's only one way to get in. In that case, that means very soon, we're going to get that realization. On the squad.
So and I mean, think about it. Like they have to participate in this game. People have to die because if your score stays the same, remember for X amount of days,
you
lose your curse.
19 days. 19 days. And so I'm like, no point change.
They gonna have to do something. Like they can't just not do things, and that's what I love about this. So that's why I like these rules. It's like they have to.
I think what Gege is gonna put Yuji to do is put them where his friends from the first chapter and stuff like that. Make him you have to force him to earn points. And he has to do what he has to do in order to be able to continue living, and that's gonna be messed up.
This is weird because for the first time with an MC like Yuji, I don't think I'm gonna feel bad for him for having to do what he has to do.
Yeah.
Usually when the main character gets put in these situations, you feel bad for them having to do something like this. And I'm like, at this point, I'm like, I don't feel bad because this is literally what you got to do.
And what's gonna be harder is if you don't do anything, Sukuna's gonna do it for you.
If he wants to.
If he wants to, yeah.
We still don't know what. Sukuna's still been quiet. I mean, he's probably going to be quiet for a lot longer. We may not even see him for a good chunk of the Culling games, or even.
I wonder if he can't even like come out because of the rules of the game. I don't know. I'm like, there's a lot of stuff that could be.
Well, we still got to remember we don't know the exact details of that rule he has.
That's what I'm saying.
Himself, like we assume, like yes, but we also don't know if there was stuff added to it. So there's just a lot of question marks and a lot of uncertainty.
I think somebody's going to make a rule that he can't participate.
That's gonna anger a lot of the other people because they wanted to fight.
Because people, there are people trying to hunt him. Yeah, people
exactly.
Want him,
so I feel like
they need him out.
And that's what I'm thinking. Like somebody is going to be like, no, I don't care about. I don't want this. And so I think somebody's going to make a rule. Sukuna cannot participate in the color game.
I think that'd be hard because technically he's already participating.
Yeah, no,
he's not.
Yeah, he is. That's why, like, because he got that
Yuji
radar
didn't
thing.
have to register. Yuji was already registered without
That's
Yuji's
what I'm saying.
knowledge.
That's what I'm saying. And so I'm like, I don't know. I feel like that'd be too easy. That would be too easy. If Sukuna could just, be like, hey, everybody want to fight me? Come fight me. Meet me over here.
Nah,
it's too easy.
Yeah, but we also know with how Sukuna carries himself, that it's like he won't care unless you. You saw with Mahito. Remember Mahito? Mahito pulled up. He's like, I don't care.
He also has his sick personality. It's like if he wanted to, Yuji meets up his old friends. Sukuna could just come out, just kill his old friends, and comes change back to Yuji. Hey, see what I did to your friends? See what you did to your friends?
Now, see, again, that sounds too easy.
Sukuna likes sitting on his throne and just watching cats. He likes seeing Yuji be put through the ringer, which the calling game will do, like you mentioned, because
he's got to do it.
Ironically for you, I feel sort of the opposite of how you feel about Yuji in this case, because for me, it's not that I feel bad, but I feel kind of just indifferent. Before, I'd like when MCs are put in this kind of dire situations. I'm saying, all right, what exactly?
I don't even feel sympathetic, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just like,
which is wild.
It's more so for me. I'm more curious about how other people are evolved by this. For Yuji, I'm like, Yuji, it's just logical. I mean, you already know. They made it very clear from jump. There's no way for you to try to remedy this. I would be very dissatisfied if Gege wrote, and we know he definitely won't do this. So if Gege wrote in a way for Yuji to not kill people but still succeed, I'm like, nah.
Other shonen artists might do that. No.
Oh no, I was like,
he gave so many chances.
Mangaka would definitely do that, but I feel like with Yuji, it's different.
Yeah, we're not going to see that. He's going to have to do it. For me,
is different.
It doesn't move me because I'm like, this is the next logical step.
In this universe, I think
they don't exist.
Yeah,
they don't exist.
At least I hope not. I'll be honest. I hope not. It's like, yes, there's good, but I feel like the Gege's been playing in this gray area, and I want him to stay there, like for real.
I can't see it just because of what Megumi has shown us from Jump. You are not a hero.
Mm-hmm.
We can't save everybody. So that hero mentality, that hero complex, just can't really survive without you going mad. I mean, even with the judge, he's not doing it to be a hero.
Nope.
He's doing it because he believes the justice system is flawed.
He believes in justice. That's just it. This belief. That's why he's doing. That's what's driving him.
And it's not really a hero complex. It's just more of a very black and white visualization of what he grew up learning, what he was working towards his entire life. So he's not saying, "Hey, I'm here to save you." Like, no, if you're guilty, you're guilty. And I'm judge, jury, and executioner. So I'm definitely curious to see what the next few chapters. I know we're gonna take a break.
Megumi or the lawyer guy?
The lawyer, yeah. Megumi, like said before, he's been consistent. He understands what's got to be done. He's going to kill people. He may not.
He doesn't care if it's like justice.
There may be a little hesitation, just to show like, hey, he still, has been affected, but he'll make the necessary calls when
I feel like it would be more of self-defense. If you are gonna kill me, I'm gonna kill you, and I'm gonna collect these points.
I'm with you on that, Sam. It's like he's gonna do it when he's pressured to do so. He's not gonna actively seek out doing it, but he knows
he just wants information at this moment.
And there's plenty of people gunning for him, so he knows that people are gonna come for me. So like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do what I need to do. Is what I think he's gonna get at this point.
I mean, you're a
I don't, I
sorcerer.
don't,
You
I don't
automatically
care
get a
who
huge
comes
target.
at me. Like, if they're gonna come at me, you're gonna get these hands. But I need to do my own shit. I don't care
and
about you.
I just love. He's like, hey, I got questions for you. He's about to Batman these fools.
Talk.
So we can
And then,
either do this the
What's so
hard
great?
way.
What's so funny
or
is
the
Yuji like,
hard
all right,
way.
I need to get some information too, but I don't want to kill these guys. Like, oh man, Yuji.
He's about to Batman them. Talk. Oh, okay. My arms and legs broke.
And Yuji is trying to be Superman. Like, are you gonna talk now? I have all this super strength. You got this? No.
No, I'm just excited about this all together, bro. Like, there are a lot of questions that I need answered. Like, I need to know what's gonna happen with Gojo. I need to know how they're actually gonna circumvent the rules, or if they're gonna completely follow the rules and play the game the way it needs to play, first and foremost. And then I need to figure out where does the rest of our cast fit into this. Like, how are they gonna fall into this game, and how are they gonna who's gonna die, bro? Because you know how this works. Die at JJK. People get murked at JJK.
Hell yeah, people die every day, B.
Yeah, right.
So like, who getting got next is what I want to see.
Speaking of casts, like we got introduced new characters into this chapter
did.
too.
Dibs on Hanyu, by the way.
That's fine. Like
That's
I said,
okay.
I
you
left
did,
some.
you
I left
did.
some for everybody else to eat.
You did.
know what I'm
you
saying?
did.
Like we had new punters in a sort of way. You're gonna have to at least know, like in these kind of games, there's gonna be groups, people who
Yes.
group together,
People who team up,
alliances
No.
and
Yeah.
stuff, like in order for like their greatest survival, because a bigger threat can literally wipe them all out individually. It seems
straight up.
like
That's what these new folks about to find out.
one of them seems to remembers or knows Yuji, and I'm guessing.
Yeah, I was trying to figure
he-
out who that person was. I was like, do I actually remember you from anywhere early on? Because he's been pulling back people from literally like the first 5 chapters.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's like, if you think about it, all the shonen people are literally bringing back like from their previous chapters into this right now. So, and it's like really good algorithm technique going on.
I mean, it's good planning if you ask me from a storytelling perspective. I love that stuff.
I agree, because like you don't have to
He was
introduce
with
new
Toto
character,
and
new
Shibuya,
story.
says Light. Oh.
Say that again.
He was
with
Toto in
and
Shibuya.
Shibuya. I'll have to go back and look.
But it seems like he's not of course he's not the leader, and he's not really the strongest. He's
Nah,
more of
he's-
the
he's-
signal guy, while this woman is sort of the leader with the jetpack hair.
He's in an abusive relationship at this point.
It's what it looks like.
He's a lackey. He's a henchman. Unwillingly, it seems.
I mean, this whole group,
And then you have a whole Inspector Gadget kind of man coming after you.
Who's like, what you doing touching my woman? Well,
And
first
I'm
of all, she
like,
touched me first.
right, and I'm like, who are you, bro? You about to take your little cap and shove it
With
up
the
in your
helicopter, yeah, yo, helicopter hat. I was
It's
like,
Inspector
no, not
Gadget.
you trying to be hard as hell.
looking
with a
like that.
helicopter hat on. Like, yo, whoever does the panel, I need you to do me a favor. I need
What
you
up,
to
Tail?
make it like double color, make it red, yellow.
Make him look like a clown.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I need it full on, because the John is ridiculous. I was like, who? Man, don't be standing above me like that trying to stunt.
Yo, big go-go gadget looking.
You know those kids who have those spinny topping hats? This
That's
is like
exactly
all
right.
grown up.
Exactly. So I'm like, you cannot roll up on Yuji thinking you was tough, looking like
No.
that.
No,
No.
not possible.
No matter how much muscles you have, nope.
So no, this chapter was fantastic. I loved it. I'm like, I'm sad that we're like, missing next week, but it's for a good reason. So that's fine. But like, I'm just ready for more JJK at this point. We back, baby. And I'm like, yes, please. Love this story. This story is so good.
And
Yeah,
then
it was.
The other new
Definitely
character
was.
is Remy, the girl that met up with Megumi.
Will you be my knight?
Yeah,
My
whatever.
knight
Give me
in
information.
Shining armor.
Man, I want him to just be like, get out my face.
Right?
I am a femme fatale, a damsel in distress. I am. I am.
Someone pointed out her hair looked like those scorpion stingers and that sort of stuff, and you just like, yeah, nah, you.
Because of how, yeah. I see it.
And like Megumi says herself, like, oh, why did you like? She's like, why did you attack me? Cause you attacked me. It's like you trying to kill me. I'm pretty sure everybody within this Culling Game circle, everybody's trying to rack up points and kill people and whatnot. You should not be
But,
any different.
He's willing to he's willing to make the hard decisions if need be. He's not Yuji. That's
I mean,
a
he
very
also
start.
knows he can back up the talk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He
exactly.
does.
Especially since we saw him shadow surfing to when they went to find Hikari and Karara.
Oh,
I'm like, well, it makes sense why you want to be behind your.
Talk
I mean,
about,
as a
like,
bodyguard.
and, like, we
leveling up. Like,
we
not,
know
not
his
just
ace
an
in the
ability,
hole
but
too.
confidence too.
Yeah.
That boy is confident now. Like,
his ace in the hole is literally gave Sukuna some like some trouble and some fight too. Like he has something to back up.
That was with his, because he hadn't perfected his domain expansion yet.
Yes.
Nope.
No,
yeah, that
not.
still has been
I'm waiting
perfected.
to see the next level of that.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
So,
Because if that big old body,
we'll
he
definitely have
busted
to see it. We'll
I'm
definitely have
up
to
in
see
that
it in
thing.
Cullen.
Oh Lord Jesus. Ooh-wee. I can't wait. Could you imagine? Because couldn't he summon multiple versions of that thing if he managed to tame it?
I mean, there's like 10 altogether, right? With the giant sorcerers. Just that none of them were able to control them individually. What if he can? What if he can control them?
I mean, we all know that we've been told multiple times that this dude is one of the strongest people in this story, period. Like, we've been told this multiple times, and I'm about that life. So,
absolutely.
Give me more of it. But yeah, who said that? He in chat said chapters have part in the title going to go down.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This Cullen games might be like a 2-year operation, just like Shibuya went over about a year.
I'm all for it, boy.
Because I didn't realize until afterwards when other people were talking about it. I was like, yeah, Shibuya went on for like a year and a half. And I was like, word? And I was like, wait, I don't remember.
Oh yeah, I told people, I was telling folks when they were catching up, like, Shibuya was long as hell.
And I was just like, damn.
While
was a part 52.
While My Hero was going through the whole war arc, JJK was going through the Shibuya arc.
Which, listen, for people, like, that was literally some of the best reading, like, back to back. Good God.
It was.
Reading through war arc and Shibuya.
I'm jealous of those who get to binge it. I'm jealous of those
I binged
because I do remember being like, damn, when we gonna wrap this joint up? Like we still in Shibuya? And I'm like, all right, shit, Shibuya popping. Okay, I can wait. And I'm like, damn, we still in Shibuya? Oh, hey, but shit be popping. And then I was like, all right, Shibuya happened so long ago. It's been out of my memory long.
And that's the fun part about it. Like, you can wait and be fine. In most cases, it's like I can understand how some folks might be waiting for the Cullen game to build up a few.
Oh yeah, To be
know?
honest, with how the last basically the chapters after Maki have gone down, I would actually recommend for people to kind of just, for those who are willing,
for people who don't do stuff like we do, that, talking about it every week, it's
easily encouraged to wait. It'll be better that way because it won't be as confusing for you.
I mean, not that even that it's confusing. You get your answer sooner.
Yeah. Well, I don't mean confused. Yeah, let me just read it. I don't mean confusing like, hey, you slow as hell. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that with how wordy Gege is, and especially the rules, like even now for me, week to week, I constantly have to go back and review to make sure I understand.
I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah. Exactly. So it'd be easier for you to just binge it because like you don't have to go back and be like, yo, this doesn't make sense. Then next week, like, wait, I thought, let me go back, and it's like a weekly lecture. You feel me? But this time around, if you were to binge it, like, I would if I had the self-control. I don't have the self-control, so I'm not binging.
There's a lot of content in every single chapter of Shibuya.
Yeah. So like, and I love that. Yeah. I love that.
They give you that whole week-to-week expectation, like you get something from it. And then the binging part, people like literally like, yo, what the hell this, and then all this,
which
and
is awesome.
Next chapter, like, what the?
That's the fun part of this. People can experience it in the ways that they want to experience it, week to week, month to month. They binge it all at once. Like, that's what I love about this stuff, and I love when people are just ready to talk about it, like we are right now. Because let me tell you, we are in a very good time for these stories. These stories are like legitimately fantastic.
Like definitely, like
I don't know what to tell you. If you're like, oh, well, I don't really like that. I mean, that just means it's not for you. But it's very, very good.
Which is also really good to like reread and binge because there's always something going to be missed, and there's always going to be something you can always bring back.
That's the thing about some of these current stories. Like I don't want to say they're easy to reread, but you can absolutely reread them and see things differently.
Yes,
it's fantastic.
I love it. Absolutely.
Like I have a feeling we're about to they're gonna do something in Chainsaw Man, and we're gonna have to go back and reread some stuff. Like,
man, I totally forgot about Chainsaw Man.
I mean, Oda did the same thing. He did that too.
That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. So I'm about it. I'm
binging the Wano arc. For anime wise, I purposely haven't watched it because I said let me wrap this up first. I want to see it wrapped up. I do read it week to week, and I'm loving it, but I know animated is gonna be hit and just be able to binge it.
I'll be there by the time I catch up. I'll be there. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
good.
yeah.
By the time you catch up, Vash will not continue Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, I'll finish One Piece before Vash watches Hunter.
I'm actually upset that you didn't start your this Twitter thread with RayApollo, because I enjoyed RayApollo a lot.
I loved RayApollo. RayApollo was my shit. I'm telling you, So I got in with the Sanji story. Loved that. I was like, okay, no, I like One Piece a lot. And then I got to RayApollo, and I'm like, I see what you're about. All right, Oda, I see what you're doing, and I like it. Like, so if every arc has something like that in it, I'm in it to win it. Because I'm about it. It was just good. Like, I was having fun. I'm still having fun, bro.
Well, guys,
we can talk about One Piece chapter as soon as what. As soon as I want them to talk about it, but like as soon as I'm caught up, best believe we be talking about One Piece every day. There's a chapter. I'm really trying to be caught up so we can be talking about it.
Soon, guys, we're converting him. He's converted. He's
in. Look,
listen,
y'all. I'm just waiting on them at this point. I'm waiting on them.
I know, and I'm like, I'm trying. I'm getting there. Don't worry. I'm not a slow reader, so just give me a little time.
He's not.
I can, in theory, read 100 chapters a day. It's just that I can't be reading nothing else. I read a lot. I'm reading a lot of stuff. I'm reading real books. I'm reading a whole bunch of different manga. I read a bunch of comic books every day. So we'll get there. Don't worry.
Let the man give his varieties. Let him get this, a little piece of this and this, right?
So I'm looking at my room right now, and I'm like, I see like 3 different books right now that I have I'm halfway through, and I'm like, oof.
So, any last thoughts for JJK before we move on?
I can't wait for the week after next week. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, 2 weeks.
I think I saw Project Monitor here. What's up, BBs? I love y'all.
Hey, shout out to Project Monitor.
Gege went back and to redraw the art for the Maki chapters. They didn't get a chance to finish before they went into surgery. Bad. I will absolutely reread that chapter straight up.
I'm definitely gonna go reread it.
So what should we?
It the way it was.
Red Hood.
All right, sounds good to me. So
because I feel like we should end with Kaiju number 8. We should end with Kaiju number 8 because
I did like Kaiju. You're right. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay. So this actually was a good chapter. Like we didn't cover last week's chapter, but this.
You want to cover last week's chapter first, then?
We could cover both. That's fine. Because it was like about Bonkers.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
it's all about Bonkers. Yeah.
What I do want to say, and it relates to every chapter, is that I really do enjoy the metagame or the breaking of the fourth wall that this series presents.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, it looks so good.
We saw it again in this chapter too.
Knox just shared with me the volume art for that Maki chapter. It looks so good.
Oh, Knox, post that on the TL. I need to see that.
Oh Lord.
Put that in the group chat, Ray. I need to see that.
I will. Oh my God. Oh, I got distracted.
But yeah, no.
Red Hood, yes.
I love the breaking of the fourth wall. Just the commentaries, like, yo, they understand. They know, like, hey, this is a manga. Like, yes, this is how things would work, but you're not the MC. You know, it's like, what are you trying to get at with his story? Like, I love. This is what the biggest thing I love about Red Hood. Plus, the artwork is phenomenal. The characters are so dope. Like, oh my goodness, yo, this shit was flames.
Listen,
and I did enjoy learning about Bonkers' backstory.
But same, I just love Red Hood because it's. I keep telling people, and it's like I don't just say this lightly. I'm getting like mad Hunter x Hunter vibes from the start of this, and I really dig it, bro. Like I'm really about this life, and it's just there's complex characters, there's complex abilities, and there's mystery to just about every damn body. Besides, I mean, including our MC still that he don't even know about.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I'm like, yeah, give me some more of this. Like I love this. But last chapter, Bonkers is an interesting character because it's like he's like, hey, look, I know what I'm about, and I'm here to do what I think I'm about. But then other people gonna be like, no, that's what you think about yourself, but you ain't had nobody believe in you before, but we believe in you now. So this is what you gonna do. And I love that about this character because it's people like because you like think about that. There are times you get down on yourself, but then you got your folks around you that believe in you, and it helps you realize your potential. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Bonkers needed in this situation, which I think is amazing. I love that. Like what a nice young man. Like he just got did dirty. like straight up,
Mm-hmm.
straight up. Actually, the dirtiest. His family decided to help these people. People took advantage of their kindness. He took all the blame for it. So not only did he seem like his mistake led to the doubt, like literally one of the worst. He made a simple mistake that was the worst mistake he ever made. Straight up. It's like that sucks. And I think about that. That's like if they decided to make Gentle like a mainline character in My Hero.
Yeah.
Made a simple mistake, changed his whole life.
It was that his backstory was really, really interesting because in most cases you build upon that type of characters like, oh, you rich, pompous, like you don't really understand shit, like blah blah blah, etc. So it was like, nah, we gonna spin it. He understood and he tried his best. It was one of those things where, you know, sometimes the good intentions don't always work out well. And it just so happened that this is what happened. It's like, yo, I didn't like try to kill the person. I'm being framed. But how can you argue that as a little kid? Especially when it's a time of crisis and you're rich. The stereotypes you get as a wealthy person is viewed very starkly to the common people. Even if you help him, it's like, oh wow, so you push him just because he had a spoon in his hand?
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, wow. It's like, wait, I'm the one who opened the door. Oh, you must think that because you opened the door, you're high and mighty above us. I said, it's a lose-lose situation.
Exactly. Damned if you did, damned if you didn't.
Yeah.
Literally. And it's like, that's people. That's humans. And I'm like, ooh, that hurt. That's really sucked to read. I'm not gonna lie. Like that was like, ugh.
And to give that kind of gravitas to a secondary character is mad interesting.
Which means to me that our main character, good lord,
he about to go through some shit.
When we learn about this, when we learn more about Velu, boy, I can't wait.
Knowing more about Bonkers too, because he started out skinny, but then he just got kicked out of his home. He had nothing left. The reason why he doing all these like training and doing the test every day is so that he can have a home, have warm food in his stomach, and at least gain some strength out of it all.
For 6 months, he has a place to live.
It's literally like it was like back then within that story where like it's cold winter night. You know you can't survive out there, so you just do some petty crime, just go to jail.
Go to jail, yeah.
Get a warm meal, 3 meals a day, just warm place and whatnot.
That's exactly what he's doing. So,
and mind you, this is what he's doing now as a young adult. I mean, you got to remember he was basically a street kid.
He was little when he got ran out of his home. So but yeah, that backstory that hurt me a little bit. I was like, oof. Like I felt real bad for him. Like they made him like likable and relatable to a point. I'm like, all right, bet.
And like what Abe's saying during the fourth wall, like, yo, if the person's life is a story, I'm just a random extra. I'm just a side story. I'm just a father. I'm nothing in this sort of situation. Just at least let me take the L if needed for the main character so that he passes and stuff.
Good job, Bakugo. I'm proud of you.
For all those who felt like Bakugo betrayed your feelings and your emotions, Bonkers did what I feel like would have satisfied. It's like, yes, one chapter, no. The other chapter is like, all right, cool, there we go. If that's what you wanted for Bakugo, drop the series.
Yep, like that you don't get it, so just no. But this newest chapter, I mean, just confirms for me that Velu has that ability to motivate and inspire anybody.
Yes.
And it's not like it's just his infectious positivity. It's just because he's got grit, he's intelligent, he has a plan, and he wants to make sure they all succeed. That's what in my book we call a leader. He inspires folks to work with him, not for him. And I feel like the chapter before, 2 chapters ago, really honed in on that, because they literally gave you somebody who does the opposite. He makes people work for him.
That was also a good chapter too. Yes. I missed that week, but that was a really good chapter. So I was glad to see your discussion about that.
I mean, and not only does it motivates them to want to do better and more. That's powerful. Like, you know, it's not just wanting to work with him. It's like they want to succeed, and so they do more than the bare minimum, which is very, very, very important and impressive for a character, especially
because, like you mentioned, Velu, he understands the assignment. You know, he understands that people's experiences are very different. That not everybody has this optimism. Not everybody was well-to-do. People have stories. And I'm not here to tell them that your story, my story is better than your story, et cetera, et cetera. I'm just here to be like, yo, regardless of what we face, there has to be better, right?
Yes.
So let's work for that better. Let's bring about that better together as one. Like I'm not asking you to be my best friend. I'm not asking you to fall in love with me. I'm just, let's unite in this common goal and achieve.
We trying to pass this test, bro.
And even the teacher was like, exactly right. Like, this student knows what to talk about. We don't care if you want to be gung-ho and hot-headed and everything. We want everybody to join in this team. We need people who are strong, fast, smart, hot-headed, or level-headed. Main character or extra, it doesn't matter. Both are still useful. This is a job that takes all mind.
Funny enough, with this, so getting to Velu's plan, I think he's the only one that knows Red has a time limit.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I think he's also betting on that.
Wait, but isn't the time limit 3 hours?
Is it?
The entire test is 2 hours.
Test is 2 hours. That's why I was like, when it first happened, I was like, oh.
But like, she never changed. She never changed back though. She didn't change back since like.
I wonder if it's one of those things where if she exerts herself more, that the time decreases.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right.
That'll be interesting.
Possibly.
But I would say Velu had the right idea. I would have handcuffed myself to her too. Just saying. I would have been like, let me take this one for the team, yo. I'm a handcuff myself to her.
This is like the second time he's done this too, and like Red tells him like, yo, don't keep doing that, sacrificing yourself just for others and stuff. You can't do that for them.
Absolutely. For a reason. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's like, yo.
But at least Velu knows like this is just a test. This is a test, not a life and death situation.
He also knows his limit, and he knows that this is where I'm most useful currently. Everybody else has much more capability in other like aspects of this plan than I do. So I need to be here to keep an eye on you to make sure that if you do something different, I can change the plan.
Which is the fun way, because with everybody's abilities, the way they view it is like, all right, how can I use this to basically like attack, to always be on the offensive? But with this test, and thanks to Velu and some others' thinkings, they're like, yo, there's more practicality that I can use these abilities with, such as the slime dude. He was guessing like, yo, what can I use this for? Showed us a huge range, the versatility of which he could use his abilities, and the combinations too. Wow. Like that man has a special skill set.
Dangerous.
Yeah. And it wasn't until now it was just like, yeah, I was like, what can I do in life? I guess I could just make stuff. It's like, sir, you are a whole weapon of mass destruction. You are a biological weapon.
Biological weapon by yourself.
He's a very important character. Even James Bond needs the tech guy, man. Be like, hey, what tech do you have got for me? Like, I got you this. I made you this. And I also upgrade your car. It's like, oh, okay, cool.
But even with someone like Bonkers too, given his size and his intimidation factor, he's always saying like, how can I be offensive? And now here we shows like, yo, I don't need to fight you. I just need to dip. Like, it's changing people's mentality.
Exactly. They're doing more. They're learning about themselves and doing better. That's what I love it. But I also like they were like, hey, we're gonna fight you, and Diamond's like, oh yeah, bet.
Is that what y'all want to do?
Okay.
Like, you have a whole numbers game on me? Okay, bet. 140 degrees, like, oh.
As if that's still not hot as hell.
That's still too hot. Like,
oh yeah, I know we're in a cold place, but like,
that's too hot. Golly, I love Diamond. Diamond's one of my favorite characters in Shonen Jump right now.
It's also Bonkers. Also, like, we don't have to wait to another chapter for Bonkers realization. Like, yeah, we need numbers to win. We need to work together, support each other, and he talks to the sniper dude that didn't want to help out Velu in the game. Tilty.
Yeah.
And like Bonkers was like, yeah, I know what you're going through because I got through the same thing. You're not the only one who took this test. Everybody backstabbed each other, but I just walked away because I didn't care about passing. Now this is different. I care about passing. I want us all to pass, so we all need to work together. And like Ray just said, help us we help you so you can help us. That's the only way we can win and pass.
I mean, I'm still trying to wait to see who's going to be the person who decides to, work for themselves. I'm like, there's got to be somebody, because not everybody's playing the same game here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just curious to see who's in it for themselves still. But I'm curious to know on how they're gonna expose themselves. Straight up, I want to know. Or is everybody here kind of a decent person? And that's the only reason why they're here.
They can expose themselves after the test, like once
Also true.
Like all they really need is the inside connect within the guild, and then gather whatever information they want from it from inside from there.
By the way, I gotta say my favorite panel from this is page 16. There's a lot of definition in a certain character, and I'm very happy with the choice there. Very, very good. Good job. Appreciate that. Words to the wise.
Guys,
very good.
I see you.
But no, overall, very good chapter. Like, it wasn't like one of the best ones we had from Red Hood so far, but very, very good chapter.
It's still decent. Yeah,
we're trying to get towards. Like, I'm like, let's get to the climax of this. I want to get to the climax of this.
We're really trying to we really hope that we avoid it getting axed too early. We want to at least see if this arc can.
Like, Red Hood is probably one of the more interesting stories, both like plot and pacing wise, that we've gotten recently.
New story wise.
It's up there with Kaiju number 8. Straight up. These two are very special. And I need people to understand that.
Let's hope the popularity poll would help push the agenda.
I hope so.
It continues.
I hope so. Straight up. We'll see what's happening with that, but that's all I got for Red Hood. Like, I like this series, and I will continue to like it. Like I said, I'm still not recommending it to new folks yet because I wanted to get to a certain
still build up.
Yeah. So like, it's for new people who are looking for some reason. I'm not recommending Red Hood just yet.
Just wait on it.
Yeah, just wait on it.
It's still too young.
It's got a ton of potential, but you don't buy things based on their potential.
You know that's for sure.
There's a lot of risk into that.
There's a lot of risk. All right, so what we hitting next?
My Hero.
Oh, of course, My Hero. Look, hey.
Ooh,
there's a reason for anybody who read
he's
the
smart, man.
Chapter.
He is too smart.
For anyone who's read the My Hero chapter, you gotta understand something. Two things must be known about two of the members here. One, Ray is called the waifu sniper for a reason. And when I tell you it wasn't even 30 minutes past release already, I'm like, who is he talking about? I'm like, who is that? I thought it was a new character in Red Hood, so I went to go to Red Hood first to be like, oh,
you know, damn sure Ray was gonna go My Hero as the first manga to go.
Actually, JJK was my first one today.
Oh,
so yeah,
I was like, oh, he must start. And then I saw Spicy's tweets. Shout out to Spicy. I was like, wait, DC Stars and Strike. Let me go to My Hero. And I'm reading. I'm like, like, dang, didn't even take 30 minutes already. The waifu sniper lives. And then the second thing you gotta know about me is I love Stain. I love Stain.
Nah.
And this, my favorite panel, oh my, are you a man or a beast?
That was such a good line from him.
His answer to that, this man Stain, I need him in the Hall of Fame.
Horikoshi can't tell me that Stain ain't one of his favorite characters.
If he tells me like I actually hate that character, I'm gonna be like, you know what? I need you to hate me because
don't lie to me.
I need you to hate a lot more characters because apparently you do your hated character super well.
Super well. Like Stain continues to be one of the best.
And
characters
it's crazy
in the series.
too because we don't need that much time. Like all this stuff feels natural. It doesn't feel forced.
It does. This does not feel like it. Just makes sense. That's what it is. It's just
we didn't have that much screen time.
Sense. Nope.
Like before this arc, when was the last time we saw Stain? We all know when it came to when All Might, basically before All Might lost, before the image of peace, the symbol of peace died. You know,
man,
that was so many chapters long ago. Over at least almost about 150 plus.
Yeah, remember All Might keeps like someone keeps delaying the meeting between All Might and Stain all this entire time, and now it's just.
Exactly.
It finally came to this moment.
And I'm glad it took this long because now then he had a literal reason to actually get to him.
Make
with
complete sense.
Like with this game-changing information, Mike.
Yeah.
Which is all bad, but we'll get to that. But no, Stain is the Red Hood of this universe, and this is like he's still a hero. I've been telling folks Stain was never really a villain. He was just a hero doing the dirtiest work. Like he was just Nagant, but on Front Street. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like, Stain is doing what he says it right here. I'm merely an ally to the world, as it should be. Not to myself, to the world.
But you have to be a beast the entire time because this world
Be-
is a jungle. This is a cruel world.
Hey, look, people can't be like, well, yes, they actually can, because he actually has killed people, about 40
Yes.
people, 40 bodies to his name. So
yeah.
I won't say that. But for my all intents and purposes,
I'm guessing he doesn't count the prisoners too. That one prisoner he just slit the throat and shit like.
I mean,
No, remember he was counting heroes.
Okay,
Yeah,
he was
counting
counting
heroes.
heroes.
He wants to be brought in on account of killing heroes. He
Yeah.
don't count villains because villains they scum anyway to him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
so-
yeah.
But my thing is that, like, yo, Stain and Megumi understand the assignment, right?
They do.
And,
They do.
I'm gonna put.
Somebody's got to, bro.
So yes, technically you can be upset with Stain, but again, like I said, for all my intents and purposes, I don't fault Stain at all. Stain is what society needs. It's not a hero.
And
He's
that's the
not
way
really-
Horikoshi wanted him to be viewed, bro. It's like he did what other people were afraid and wouldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one who will take that step to do what he thinks needs to be done. And I still think, without Stain, none of this would happen.
Oh,
It's
Stain is
true.
crucial. He's the catalyst.
He's the catalyst to all of this,
Mhm.
straight up. And old boy, the hero, the villain, like prospector, the scouter, he said that to Shigaraki way early on, bro.
Yeah.
He's like, you need him, but he ain't gonna work with you.
Twice his homie, right? That's twice his homie.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. So I'm like, man,
R.I.P.
this-
twice.
yeah, oh boy. But this chapter was very good, Stain lore. I'm all about this.
Like the toughness too. He knew the assignment. Man, it's a stormy night. The high tides. Man literally jumped to the ocean, really waiting to swim all the way outside to the other side of the island.
I mean, remember what they said about the waves around Tartar?
Yes, it was so cruel, like harsh, just the highest it's ever been.
Stain is that dude.
I need to get to All Might. This information need to get to All Might because that's the only person he trusts.
Stain is
Yeah.
scary, bro.
With that pointy ass chin.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
I was like,
That's-
oh boy. I mean,
That's
you can wrap that
Crimson
chin back
Chin's
up.
arch
Yeah.
nemesis right there, bro.
Right, yeah.
The nigga chin. I mean, it makes sense. I mean,
Yes, it does.
with Yagi's pointy chin too. So
It's true. Oh man. But I will say, so I love. We got a lot of information. Like people would talk about. Oh, well, KK gives you so many words. This is one of Horikoshi's wordiest chapters in.
Yeah, it was.
hot
Easily.
minute.
Easily.
He was like, all right, I got to give him a lot of information here, and guess what he did? This chapter is full of information, not just about how they got into Tartarus and how they managed to make all of that like work. Not only that, it's also they talk about One for All and All for One again, and how it works and how it's perceived to work, because that means they still don't understand how it all works in general. Like even All Might, he was like, hey, I just have an idea how I think this works in relation to me. Like it's even wild. Like if you take what he just said about One for All and All for One and apply it to what Deku's in right now, that's wild. Really, really, really think about it. I'm like, okay, what's that mean? But the fact that they just told us about Shigaraki and what's about to happen, so I'm like, is that information that is relevant now? So is it like 3 days from now in real time in the present?
yeah, because it's been
or
a
is
month.
is it already done?
No, this is. Oh wait, no. I assume. Oh no,
it should be
is
very soon.
I thought this was in the past. Like this was a month ago, right? Like
Yeah, it's a
which
month.
Parts of this were in. I don't think any of this was
Oh
in
no,
real
no,
time.
no. So what I took that as is that Horikoshi went to say like, yo, a month before this event, this is when it's only been a month since the Tartarus
Since the break. Yeah, since the break.
So Stain got the information. He's been trying to get it to. We fast forward back because the last thing we saw is Deku is with the police. Yami. He's out. Yami already had his meeting with his stuff. He with Deku and them. He already talked to him, and he had his meeting with Stain, and now he's presenting the information to him. So I think it was just a way to kind of give Stain his more flowers and be like, how the hell did Stain come about this information?
No, so I just cleared that up for myself. So currently, they have 3 days
Yeah,
until Shigaraki's complete.
and they thought it'd be 2
Because
months.
based on what they got from Hawks, they thought that it was going to be 2 months.
Which
And
means they were supposed to have a month left. Yeah.
Which was a lie. And so they were like, oh no, really was only 38 days compared to like the actual information he got. So this is actually all bad.
They have less
Because
time. They
no
still have
chance
no.
for rest.
They
No-
don't even have time for the heroes that they called for to get there and help them.
Yeah,
Which is why your waifu, she was like,
she already left
I'm
the
out.
moment he asked for help.
When I saw the one was like, I was already left, I screamed. I'm like, I know it's from America. It has to be, because I was like, either it's Captain Celebrity or somebody who's with him. Because listen, Captain Celebrity will come back, but I feel like he didn't have enough tie to All Might to be like care enough. So I'm like, who is it? Then we see Star and Stripe, boy.
And what she
The
said.
new number
What
one.
she says, my master's in a pickle. Why would I think twice? Like,
Standing on top of the jet like that too.
standing on top of not just a jet, but a stealth bomber, bro.
Stealth bomber.
And I'm like, so hold up, time out real quick. I need to know what All Might was doing in America for as long as he was there, bro. The fact that he took a protege while he was in America.
I think
Come on now,
I
bro.
think it would make sense because he was learning in America for a couple years in college too.
That's what I'm saying. So
She
it's like,
probably was
how
in
long
high
did he-
school during that time, but
right? And I'm like, oh, so he like mentored folks while he was over there. So I'm like, what did he teach her?
Yeah.
You know?
And
what is-
why
yeah,
was he not? Why did he not look to her to be his successor?
that's what I'm saying. It's like, why wasn't she the one that he decided to give it to? Except probably because he was like, no, this belongs to Japan. You know what I'm saying? It's probably is what I'm thinking.
because he was a
Because
foreign
that's
exchange
what-
But then-
student. Because he was a foreign exchange student, but then he got the injury from. Didn't he get the injury in Japan? Not like from
that's what I
America
thing
too.
was-
Yeah, so
The way it's been portrayed, and also shout out to My Hero Vigilantes too, is that because of his ties to America, he would also always aid America too. He wasn't always in Japan.
Yeah.
If he's not in Japan, you knew he was in America.
He was
doing
helping out
superhero
America.
stuff.
Yeah.
So then my thing is, I don't know if it would be like, oh, this belongs to Japan, because he spent as much time overseas as he did.
Well, I mean, as we see, his time in the United States shaped him as a hero.
Yeah.
All of his attacks are named after places in America.
yep. This was in
That's
the
why
notes
it's
and
like
everything.
I don't see a problem with him, like, you know, if you want to choose a successor, having it be someone there. But I am curious to see what was the decision for that, and how Horikoshi wants to explain, because that's going to be rather telling. But I'm also excited to see, like, okay, because we've seen what Lemillion was considered to be a protege.
That
and
was
now
Night Night Eye's recommendation.
Yeah. And now you have Star and Stripe, and the fact that it's never been mentioned before, as far as I can remember.
Ever. I don't.
But we only see silhouettes. We've seen silhouettes.
A silhouette of her.
But we thought it was a guy first. We thought it was a guy first.
We thought it was a dude. Yeah. But I'm like, we saw like a really small silhouette way back, and so I'm like, I think we actually probably going to see her in this movie.
Because I don't remember seeing her in like the first movie neither, and because we seen the other heroes from the Around the World from the first movie. Because when I think someone mentioned like their number one hero in Egypt, Salam.
Yes.
Which was
We remember seeing him in World the first movie, and then we saw the big red dot.
Yes,
I thought that was a weird name.
That's a terrible name.
Is that supposed to be Russia? Russia?
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be.
I was assuming Russia. I'm assuming Russia.
What's crazy? Like
multiple times.
Wouldn't that also isn't that also the flag of Japan too? A whole big red dot as well.
But clearly it's not Japan, since you know.
Or it could be China too, actually. But still, I was like, okay. And so Spicy to talk with. So she said, plus All Might wasn't looking for a successor like that. True, but wouldn't he pick somebody who he trusted and worked with? Is what I'm saying, as a successor to his.
Yeah.
Not that he was looking for one, but like. He would have considered her somebody that he would have used.
Or maybe like All Might needed her to just for America in its because
and
he can't travel back and forth
he knew
anymore.
that he couldn't take her from America because she's now their number one hero.
Yeah, that's probably another thing too, because the fact like, all right, all this council, everybody is talking about their number one. They're not talking about like, hey, we can send our number 5 or it's our number one hero.
They said they number one.
That's why like number one hero gets the international missions.
Or was that sweat? Either tears or sweat. He was just like,
he's sweating. Because he know he can't control it. Like, remember how everybody else was like, oh well, why is there so much red tape? I can't do anything. He was like, I couldn't even stop ours. No.
I feel like that's. I feel like
sorry.
that's tip. I think that's like our usual America kind of thing. Like you know,
and that's
we're
why- and I
not
feel
gonna
like that's why
hesitate. We're gonna go
He's
straight
like,
on
I'm
to
not gonna
there.
wait but I mean, it's also the fact that they have such a close relationship.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like All Might means something to them, and they mean something to All Might.
Like even if they got
Obviously.
even if they get the green light, we're probably like, literally on the red tape line right there moment, and then boom.
Yeah,
It's
because that's
basically
the
they
thing.
didn't care. Yeah.
You see all the two number one heroes so far. They all were like, "Yo, why are we sitting here? Like,
Mhm.
All Might needs us. Why am I going through this?
Why do I have to sit on my
the
hands?
biggest
Exactly.
the biggest threat in the world is literally here, and we're just sitting our asses and not doing something right now
and we're
because
not
of
doing something
regulations.
Yeah, because of regulate. Like, why can't I just do my job? Essentially, is what-
And
what it
again,
is.
you know what it does for me. Why I also like this chapter a lot. It circles back to the idea that hero society is flawed, not just home but everywhere. Because you see in Egypt, they gotta go through red tapes. You already know how the government was handling hero
but
society in
I
Japan.
will say that
Imagine
they
elsewhere.
did drop some reasoning as to why. Essentially, like big events like this, and if their heroes do go somewhere, it gives the like carte blanche for smaller villains to rise up and do shit while they gone. And so they're like, we can't send you now because if you go, then these folks are gonna start doing stuff here that we already can't handle.
especially since
Which is
according to Interpol,
Exactly.
All for One has been. It
He's
seems like they're all working
got them
together.
riled up all
Yeah.
over the world to
Mhm.
distract them, literally.
But then
So-
again, that still shows the flaw of hero society.
yeah, like so you're number 2 through 10 or
Well,
other heroes
not
can't
even
do
that.
it.
Not even that. It's the fact that, like, you have these heroes, but clearly they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Your hero society is not working if you can't help an ally out for fear of, we might end up like them.
It's
Mhm.
like if they're doing the bare minimum by just existing there and just to maintain the peace, not create it.
Be
That's the
like
problem.
it's just like you're just the face. It's like bigger threat. You want to come approach? You gotta have us
So,
come in after we
I'm
get these
curious-
paperwork done.
I'm
Yeah, we're gonna
curious
come
to
over there.
see-
Like wait, what?
I'm curious to see how this is going to shake out for them. Abe just nailed it. It's like, if them losing one hero to go help others is basically going to put them at risk, they ain't done what they were supposed to do.
I mean,
Straight up.
like Japan ran out of manpower and they need it, and it's just like
Well, I mean,
who better than
you
to
know,
have like an
All for
Might-
one murdered everybody, bro.
Exactly. Like so, like they need help, and if they don't get help, and Japan gets destroyed or taken over, and whatnot.
I mean,
they're just-
we've said this before on this show many times. If
Mhm.
they don't stop him here, once he's done here, he's
Who's
going
next?
to the next place.
Anybody closest next is gonna just expand.
He's going where he wants to go at that point. So they got to stop him. So that's the problem. But I'm really curious to see what Star and Stripes' quirk is. Like, what is it? What do you do? I mean, we obviously see that you can't fly.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you can, and you just on the jet because you show it because you're
Yeah.
American. You know what I'm saying? I love the cape though.
I mean,
She's a big ass cape.
hey, aerodynamics means nothing to this woman because she can
I
stand
can
the
tell.
face of all that. Like,
I mean, think about it. So far we've seen 2 American heroes. They both had big ass capes.
shout out to the Western view of hero society.
We all love our
Everybody gotta have a
capes.
cape.
And like
wrap with an
it's
American
it's also
flag.
and like it's American flag too, with the stars as the strap
Hey.
onto it too.
Her name is Star and Stripe. You know,
Her
Mhm.
name is
I
literally
didn't-
Star and Stripe, bro.
You know,
She is justice and liberty, right?
exactly.
I love it. But did you notice? So, like, if you look at her costume, did you check out her neck piece?
Yeah.
What's that look like? It looks like the Hawk
Start-
that All Might wears.
Hmm.
If you look at it, it's very reminiscent.
Sorry, I was
of
thinking.
All Might's
then-
costume.
First
But
thought I
here's
thought
the
was
thing.
first thing I thought was Yu-Gi-Oh! Star Chips.
I mean, I see those too. But I'm thinking those stars represent, it's just flag, but like military status.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because she's got 5 stars on her neck, so she's a
Five- so
5-star
she's the-
general.
I mean, makes sense because she's the hero. Like she's the number
Mhm.
one hero.
Yeah,
Mhm.
with a name like that, you gotta be number one. You can't be like
I
number
mean, you
4.
couldn't be called Star and Stripe and be number 6 on the hero
Like,
ranking.
yeah, you gotta be number one. Stop
Yeah.
playing.
Number one or nothing. Like
But no, I'm like, okay, maybe we do get to learn some more about America and what's happening. Because I hope she does explain
mhm.
like the ranking of heroes over in America once she gets there. Because I'm sure Deku's gonna have a billion questions, including like, who the hell are you, and why did my dad All Might never tell me about my sister?
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, he
yeah.
learned
She
about
she
his
should
brother
have
in
she
the
should have
million, too.
sister. She should have sister.
The family's growing.
half oldest sister of the entire family of my students.
Oh,
my
especially
God.
since Shigaraki's his cousin. Like, come
Right.
on.
Right.
Exactly. So I'm like, okay, this chapter was very good. Like it really. And I said it on Twitter. It gave me exactly what I wanted. I got more about how Stain came into getting that information, how important it was. It gave us more about Shigaraki and
more questions about the All for One and One for All.
Exactly. It gave us more questions about that quirk, and I'm like, how is that? Like, it's so intricate. And
because
like,
it was something that Yagi himself didn't know about until like much afterwards. It's like when he held on, when he touched the cast
just
of
as much as we are. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it explained that and the connection between the quirk and how it's going to be affected when he's gone. Air quotes. I thought that was explaining that for me, to be honest. So when All Might is dead, that's what that explained for me with that. To be honest, how that's going to work with his connection to Deku. His thoughts and feelings already exist there, and they are independent of his own outside of it. Is what that told me. Which I'm like, okay, good. So All Might will literally just exist in there because he's already there. All of All Might is already there.
Yeah.
Well, not all of it, but when
he dies, that's when it becomes complete. Yeah.
I think it's just going to remain the way it is, unless it does. But I think it's just going to remain that way. I'll be curious to see if it does, like, solidify if and when he dies.
Knowing that, like, this new hero from America, Stars and Stripes, I can't wait I really hope we see her in Vigilantes, or at least like the younger self. Because
because Vigilante seems to focus more like
and I feel like we've already passed that point because she's probably
Yeah.
practicing as a hero in the United States
Mm-hmm.
at this where we are right now in the story. If we would have seen her,
feel like-
we would have seen her back when Celebrity was running.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess
Because
that's true.
From Vigilantes, what I'm seeing is I feel like we're entering our final phase. Like we're entering the home stretch with Vigilantes right now.
So somebody
somebody
who was that? Was it Denzel who said something earlier about the weeks? About how it's going to get expanded past the 5 volumes, which makes sense. That just means, I'm telling you, every time Horikoshi takes a break for real, he gets more ideas. So I can understand why.
Yeah.
It makes sense to me.
So is Stars and Stripes technically Supergirl?
She's Superman.
Oh,
She's Superwoman.
Superwoman would be more.
Well, no,
accurate,
what I'm saying
because
is
All Might was
she
the
is-
Superman,
she is-
or then now she's the.
No, he was not Superman because he was visited. She's
Oh,
Superman.
okay.
Yeah.
She would be what Superman is to the United States. Is what I'm assuming.
Okay.
So you may now refer to her as a House of L member.
Yes.
She
I mean,
is
look at
Star
her.
and Stripe L.
Look at her. Like there ain't no way that you'd be like, yeah, no, that's not Superman like at all. Absolutely.
I mean, that is the pinnacle of Western hero society. is
she's
Superman.
wearing the cape.
Like,
And she's wearing the American flag as a cape, bro.
and the color scheme.
This is America. It personified right here. She coming.
Superman's is red, white.
Uh-huh.
The only
Yellow,
difference is the
like-
mask too. Like
I
Superman.
I kind of like the mask though. I mean, think about how many people would have been spared if Superman wore some kind of disguise instead of just assuming that he take off his
I
glasses.
don't know.
Yeah, be like, woo, I'm a new person. This isn't Laburu. This is someone different at all. Nice to meet you.
It like is.
Doesn't even wear a hat, bro. He's just like, nah, I'm somebody else now.
Did someone else show up? I heard a lot of yelling.
Mhm.
Is everything okay on this stream?
Facial
I just
hair,
stepped away.
lack of facial hair and iconic curl in the middle of my forehead, exactly the same. We're different people.
Despite having similar builds, like Clark wasn't no small guy. It's like
I'm about the mask. The mask helps just a little bit because it seems like her hair is just as extravagant as All Might's. It is really hard to miss. So, so from the silhouette that I'm seeing, and don't get on us. She looks like a Super Saiyan, straight up, bro. She looked like a Super Saiyan.
The hair.
So
It's because of the hair too.
I'm about it. I'm like, yes, please, give me more of that. God dang, I thought this chapter was fantastic. Like, legitimately. I thought this was just Horikoshi giving us what we needed. And is this one back next week on time?
yeah.
Yes, it is. Okay, so next week's gonna be popping.
Yeah.
I'm about that. Like, are we about to? Is this the one where we transition to Shigaraki?
We're all just waiting for like, did he wake up yet, or he's waking up in 3 days?
Every week, I'm like, oh, maybe now we'll learn more. We'll shift over to Shigaraki.
Well, I
I'm
can
like,
see another chapter
this
being
time-
like not that we'll see plans solidify, but the next chapter will be like, yo, we got 3 days. We
And,
gotta
like,
start making moves.
And then we
gotta
have,
do
and then we
it
have these
now.
kids trying to do a whole concert sort of thing too, and that's gonna be like the
Yeah.
night before.
Yeah.
So like,
I
Dang.
think
That
I think
concert
that's
about
about
to
to
be
get
interrupted.
cut. That's
Yeah.
about to get cut.
that needs
Like,
that
it
needs to be
was-
cut.
I think that the teachers are gonna be like, listen, we know that your heart's in the right place, but this ain't the time, kids. And I'm like, I hope that's what it comes down to, because like it literally isn't. It's not.
Or
Yeah,
or it may not. It may not even be warned because their mindset now is like, yo, we gotta go on the offensive, not thinking that oh yeah,
Because this
they're gonna
information
wait.
is new.
Yes. So
yeah.
they were planning like, yo, we gotta hit, like now we gotta go quicker. But as someone mentioned in the chat, I think it might have been Delzo, someone else mentioned in the chat, like, yo, UA is about to get attacked. So it's gonna be mid-concert, bam! All was like, oh, is this for me? Is this
Oh,
my,
you guys
my
wanted to do a
grand
whole
ceremony?
kumbaya piece or anything? No.
Not even
Oh,
that. He's gonna be like, wow, my ascension.
He's gonna be like,
live music.
oh, you started playing my theme song. I'm here.
Like, is that how it's supposed to? I am here.
You know
Is
what?
that
You
what
can
you guys
you
want?
play my music. You could be spared.
Isn't that what he says here? I'm here now. Yes, I am here. And, oh my god, bro!
It's about to get crazy.
I said it again on Twitter. I've been having real fun. I've been having a lot of fun with My Hero. And like I said, with some other ones, like it's okay to bitch, but like My Hero still reads like a comic book from the West, and that's why I can read it week to week. And that's why I like it.
Yes.
That's why I can read it. I can read this week to week and never get tired of it.
Yeah.
Again,
it's just
Hirokoshi's
Hirokoshi's writing
his
style.
love. Yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
He
I
pays
love it.
homage. He understands the assignment. He knows. He does his research.
Yes,
and we love
he
that.
does.
Yes, we do. But that being said, boys, any final thoughts about this week's chapter?
No, I know you guys are a little bit pressured into time, so we're gonna have to pause on the kaiju number 8 for now. But
So Kaiju number 8, we can do a micro episode at some point later on if we want.
yeah,
Yeah.
We could just put that up as a video.
I got you.
Yeah,
I'm down with that. Just let me know time and place.
I bet you. I got time tonight. So
Okay,
So-
tonight, yeah.
okay, cool. Yeah, that could work. So I guess for now, then we can just say like, what was our best chapter for this Sunday for each of
this
us?
is hard.
Yeah, this is
This
hard.
week was-
This
this
is
week
hard.
slapped. I'm personally gonna give it to JJK because I'm just excited that the Cullen game is starting. And I got more questions than answers right up front. My Hero was all answers for me. Like I got some questions, but I got a lot of answers.
Answers and new best girl.
And I got a new best girl. Yep.
I have to go. My Hero because you know me. You know my love
I
for
do.
Stain. So you know it's just,
and I get it. Like that was A plus chapter for Stain.
yeah. Stain hasn't missed. Stain don't miss.
Mm-mm.
He
So
don't.
far. What about you, Sam?
I will also give it to My Hero as well. Yes, JJK is cool as like the first part of the Cullen games in a way, but there's still
Yep.
so many questions that we have unsolved, and even more new characters into the story that we need to try to see if do we care about them yet. We don't know, because everything is still not yet answered.
Oh no, I want all those new bodies to drop in JJK. I don't know what you're
And like
talking about.
we already know our boy Megumi's like agenda. We know he's willing to get his hands dirty, not like Yuji, but like we know their dynamic, we know their chemistry.
He's gonna learn one way or another.
So
Right.
like, I'll wait for that lesson to learn while I'm reading the My Hero chapter. We learn more new information of stuff that we all didn't even know about, and a new best girl into the story. So yeah, sounds good. So we are all good. Hey, Ray, can you give us your plugs real quick?
Definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, you know who it is. It is the Jin of Apocalypse, Laburu Anikulapo, Prince ALawal. You can find me on Twitter at Prince_ALawal. Links in the description. Definitely check out the Osane podcast. New episode just dropped today. It was recorded on Friday because that's our recording days. We drop Sundays. You know, it's going to be hype, energetic. It was Nigeria's Independence Day on October 1st, so I was on like 60,000 million level. Definitely check out Inside the Mind of a Blur. Check out MemoryNK Mixer. New episode is dropping later today. Check out, of course, Anime Lately. Careful for spoilers. It is now the 31 days of it's October, so it's Halloween over this way. Careful for spoilers. Check it out on Instagram and Twitter. We're doing 31 days of Halloween. So today is day 3. We just dropped One of my preferred horror movies, As Above, So Below. We've done Wishmaster and Oculus so far. So everybody who loves horror, definitely check us out. We have so much more in store for you. And please, you see her talking in the chat. Follow Spicy Lady Gaming on Twitch. Follow her on YouTube. Follow her on Twitter, Spicy Lady ENT. You know how we do things over here. We stay busy. We appreciate you guys coming out for us and supporting all of our content. It means so much to us, and thank you. And have a great day. We'll see you later for sure.
Right.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all. I'm like, hey, I'm RayApollo. Like, I exist on the internet in multiple places, but I want you to look for me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and I mean, of course, here. I love this stuff. You want to talk about it? You want to have fun talking about it with me? At me on Twitter. I love to talk about this stuff. Want to tell me about something you hate? I ain't gonna respond. That's fine. But no, for real. Like, I love doing this show because I get to talk about stuff that I really enjoy every Sunday. So, bet. Sam?
Guys, you can always follow us on all information or down below for all our plugs and everything in the description down below. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed our conversation, our discussions of this manga of Shonen Ronin, and as always, subscribe to the channel. And as always, reread the tweets so you can make sense of stuff. Please. I try when I'm tweeting, I try to put everything I'm thinking in the tweet. Ain't no half tweet. But anyway, reading is important. Yes,
so,
it is.
Remember that, especially when you're reading JJK. Pay attention. But thank y'all so much for being here. Thank you to all y'all that were in the chat interacting with us. We appreciate you. I love seeing what y'all have to say. We can, like I said, continue to, if you have a question that we didn't answer, throw it at us on Twitter, and we'll absolutely answer it.
Or in the comments down below in the tweets too.
Or in the comments, like Sam sends me questions, like when he sees them, he sends them to us so we can answer.
Yeah, it's underneath the description where all our plugs and all the information and stuff. So yeah, follow us from there, guys. Hope you have a good one. Have a good night. Peace.